The Samaveda, Kanda 4, Prapathaka 8, Ardha 2. Dasata 4-8-2-1, Indra, 3 verses. Pressers blent, summoned juice for him, each draught most excellent for him, the brave, the hero for his joy. The 2 strong bay steeds, yoked by prayer, hither shall bring to us our friend, Indra, song-lover, through our songs. The Vritra slayer drinks the juice. May he who gives 100 aids approach, nor stay afar from us. Now, having mentioned Vritra, and that there are Vritras, it's kind of embarrassing that I don't remember what Vritra means. But if you see a name or a term or something, feel free to comment and leave that in, or if you have insight into what's symbolically or otherwise being represented. Dasata 4-8-2-2, Indra, 3 verses. Oh, and which particular mantra that we're mentioning mentioned that, or timestamp or something. 3 verses. Let the drops pass within thee as the rivers flow into the sea. O Indra, not excellent thee, thou wakeful hero, by thy might hast taken food of Soma juice, which, Indra, is within thee now. O Indra, Vritra slayer, let Soma be ready for thy maw, and drops be ready for thy forms. And one of the things that we need to remember is the collective and how things build up. But when it comes to ultimate divinity, it's like if all creation served it, well, it wouldn't really be like it was added to in any comparative way. Or if all of creation didn't serve it, it wouldn't really take any more than a needle that was dipped in the water and shooken off wood from the sea. Dasata 4-8-2-3, Agna, 3 verses. Help thou who knowest lauds, in this work a lovely hymn in Rudra's praise, adorable in every house. May this our God, great, limitless, smoke-bannered, excellently bright, urge us to holy thought and wealth. Like Soma rich, lord of men, may he, Agna, the banner of the gods, refulgent, hear us through our lauds. So what's coming through other than the forms? Dasata 4-8-2-4, Indra, 3 verses. Sing this besides the flowing juice, to him your hero much invoked. To please him as a mighty bowl, he excellent withholdeth not his bounteous gift of wealth and kind. When lie hath listened to our songs, may he with might unclose for us the cow's stall, whosoever it be, to which the Dasyu slayer goes. And so the Dasyus make the wrong decision. What does Dasyu mean? But when lie bath listened, when he hath listened, is what I presume that's a misprint for. Dasata 4-8-2-5, Vishnu, 6 verses. Through all this world strode Vishnu, thrice his foot he planted, and the whole was gathered in his footsteps' dust. Vishnu the guardian, he whom none deceiveth, made 3 steps. Thenceforth, establishing his high decrees, look ye on Vishnu's works, whereby the friend of Indra, close allied, hath let his holy ways be seen. The princes evermore behold that loftiest place of Vishnu like, an eye extended through the heavens, This Vishnu's station most sublime. The sages, ever vigilant, lovers of holy song, light up. May the gods help and favor us out of the place whence Vishnu strode, over the back and ridge of earth. One of the things that comes through mythologies is this mythologization of how the land came about. But even if we know that this thing didn't die or these other things, we can still think of the earth as a body. Dasata 4:8-2-6 Indra, let none know, not thy worshippers, delay thee far away from us. Even from far away come thou unto our feast, our listen it already here. For here, like rites on honey, those who pray to thee sit by the juice that they have poured. Wealth-craving singers have on Indra set their hope, as men set foot upon a car. And when we see a vehicle of accomplishing something, we certainly want to not be abrogated in our thoughts of how we're going to use this, or its ability. I mean, you certainly might want to be aware of certain faults of our risks involved. But Sata 4:8-7 Indra, 2 verses. Sung as the song of ancient time, to Indra have ye said the prayer. They have sung many a prahati of sacrifice, poured forth the worshippers many thoughts. Indra hath tossed together mighty stores of wealth, and both the worlds, yea, and the sun, pure, brightly shining, mingled with the milk. The draughts of Soma have made Indra glad. And some people want it's like, oh, that's old. That's not. It's like, fine, be creative and do something new, but sometimes the best things are what's old, and that's why it continues, is because it's something pleasing. The Sata 4:8-8 Sama Pavamana, 3 verses. For Vritra slaying Indra, thou, Soma, art poured, that he may drink. And for the guerdon giving man, the hero sitting in his seat, friends, may the princes, ye and we, obtain this most resplendent one. Gain him who hath the smell of strength, win him whose home is very strength, him with the fleece that purify, brown, golden hued, beloved of all, who with exhilarating juice flows forth to all the deities. And so when it comes to the things that people consider to be gods, or the functionaries of worship, the light beings, ultimate divinity connects to them, and the things of this world that they're a part of connects to them and benefits them in perhaps a way. Dasata 4:8-9 Indra, 2 verses. Indra, whose wealth is in thyself, what mortal will attack this man? The strong will win the spoil on the decisive day through faith in thee, O Magavan. In battles with the foe urge on our mighty ones, who give the treasures dear to thee. And may we with our princes, lord of tawny steeds, pass through all peril, led by thee. So how are we being led by divinity? Like people who just make up their own stuff, well, then they're trying to be the leaders, aren't they? Dasata 4:8-10 Indra, 3 verses. Come, priest, and of the savory juice pour forth a yet more gladdening draught. So is the hero praised who ever prospers us. Indra, whom tawny coursers bear. Praise such as thine, preeminent, none by his power, are by his goodness hath attained. We, seeking glory, have invoked this God of yours, the Lord of wealth, who must be magnified by the constant sacrifice. And as far as we're capable and reasonable, certainly we have worldly things to fulfill, so we don't just give up everything, but a portion, that's outside of what we need. Dasata 4:8-11, Agna. 2 verses. Sing praise to him, the Lord of light. The gods, light beings, have made the god to be their messenger, to bear oblation to the gods. Agna, the bounteous giver, bright with varied flames, laud thou, O singer. Sabari, him who controls this sacred food with soma blent, who hath first claim to sacrifice. And, well, the first thing we know about is the material side of what's going on, right? Dasata 4:8-12, Soma Papamana. 2 verses. Expressed by stones, O Soma, and urged through the long wool of the sheep, thou entering the press boards even as men athwart, gold-hued, hast settled in the vats. He beautifies himself through the sheep's long fine wool, the bounteous like the racing steed, even Soma Papamana, who shall be the joy of sages and of holy bards. And the different sorts of people will find their joy in different ways of approaching it, but they can be involved in the same things. Dasata 4:8-13, Indra. 2 verses. Here verily yesterday we let the thunder wielder drink his fill. Bring him the juice poured forth in sacrifice today. Now range you by the glorious one. Even the wolf, the savage beast that rends the sheep, follows the path of his decrees, so graciously accepting Indra this our praise with wondrous thought come forth to us. Now, nature is perfect, you could say. We have a choice whether we're going to be predatory or what we're going to be. Dasata 4:8-14, Indra Agna, 3 verses. Indra and Agna, in your deeds of might, ye deck heaven's lucid realms. Famed is that hero strength of yours. To Indra and to Agna prayers go forward from the holy task. Along the path of sacred law, Indra and Agna, powers are yours. Yours are oblations and abodes. Good is your zealous energy. And so what is the actual sacred law, rather than just, our strong projections of what it would be? Dasata 4:8-15, Indra, 3 verses. Who knows what vital power he wins drinking beside the flowing juice? This is the fair-cheeked god who, joying in the draught, breaks down the castles in his strength. As a wild elephant rushes on this way and that way, mad with heat, none may restrain thee. Yet come hither to the draught. Thou movest mighty in thy power, when he, the terrible, ne'er overthrown, steadfast, may ready for the fight, when Indra Magavan lists to his praisers' call, he will not stand aloof, but come. So, is it Surah 89 that talks about coming with angels and all that stuff? Because that's how it's known. But God is responsive, and the blushing cheeks and all that. kind of makes one think about that, right? Dasata 48216 Soma Pavamana. 3 verses. Who knows what vital power he wins, drinking beside the flowing juice? This I already did that one. Dasata 48216 Soma Pavamana. 3 verses. The Pavamanas have been poured, the brilliant drops of Soma juice. For holy lore of every kind, from heaven, from out the firmament, hath Pavamana been effused upon the back and ridge of earth. The Pavamanas have been shed, the beautified swift Soma drops, driving all enemies afar. And again, we're involving ourselves in multiple sides of things at once. And when one thing brings about or attracts, other things are dispelled. Dasata 48217 Indra Agna. 3 verses. Indra and Agna I invoke, joint victors, bounteous, unsubdued, foe slayers, best to win the spoil. Indra and Agna, singers, skilled in melody, hymn you, bringing lauds. I choose you both to bring me food. Together with one mighty deed, Indra and Agna, ye shook down the 90 forts which Dasas held. And some also have this idea of like 5 extra days of the year, but 90 would be a quadrant. And the idea is that the material creation is a quadrant. The other 3/4 is the spiritual creation. Dasata 48218 Agna. 3 verses. O child of strength, to thee whose look is lovely, with oblations we, O Agna, have poured forth our songs. To thee for shelter are we come, as to the shade from fervent heat. Agna, who glitterest like gold, mighty as one who slays with shafts, are like a bull with sharpened horn. Agna, thou breakest down the forts. And what category of power does what? Now more than ever, fire is one of those things. But, you know, air could be one of those things too that's used worldly too. Dasata 48218 Agna. 3 verses. O child of strength, to thee whose look is lovely, with oblations we, O Agna, have poured forth our songs. To thee for shelter are we come, as to the shade from fervent heat. Agna, who glitterest like gold, mighty as one who slays with shafts, are like a bull with sharpened horn. Agna, thou breakest down the forts. Did I just bring that? Gold is a symbol of, like, it has its own light. You know, it's inherent without something else, and it maintains itself. And of course, the sun. Dasata 48219 Agna. 3 verses. To give eternal glow, we pray the Istvanara, the Holy One, Lord of the light, of sacrifice, who, furthering the light of law, hath spread himself to meet this work. He sends the seasons, mighty one, love of what is and what shall be. Agna, in his beloved forms, shines forth alone as sovereign Lord. And I have many of times drawn this ritual focus on what was, what is, and what is to come, and an acceptance of that. And notice how they draw the attention first to the effort, then the terms of the effort. And maybe that's what you need to get people to agree to first, is the effort.